I learned early that survival is not the same as flourishing. In parts of Ghana, the land does not need explanation. You see it in what it no longer gives. The soil, tired, the rivers, no longer clear. In Kumasi, I remember water that held the sky. Now it carries what we have taken and refused to return. I have stood there long enough to notice how quickly damage learns to look normal. Gold leaves the ground. The silence that follows is harder to name. Men arrived with machines and permission, not from the land, but from those who could sell it. We gathered, we spoke where the water used to run clean. I remember thinking that being heard should not feel so uncertain. Nothing changed. And still, life continues. Children drink what they are given. The body learns to hold what it never should have. From a distance, everything appears whole. It is only when you stay that you begin to see the difference between what endures and what is alive. That difference followed me into the lab. I have watched cells under the microscope, multiplying as if nothing else mattered. They expand without listening, until growth itself becomes the harm. We call it disease, and I have wondered how often we wait for something to become visible before we decide it matters. My grandmother had cancer. I remember sitting in rooms where time moved differently. Treatment fought the disease, but it lost against the quiet weight of systems already strained before illness arrived. I have come to understand that damage rarely announces itself. It becomes familiar before it becomes undeniable. I have sat with students as they wrote code to follow the quiet shifts in water, as they imagine sensors that could warn before harm becomes visible. I have watched them pause over small changes, learning to take seriously what others might ignore. There is something hopeful in that kind of attention, a refusal to wait for collapse, a willingness to notice early and to care anyway. Learning how to remain in relationship with what sustains us, to build without standing above, to care without waiting for proof of damage, to understand that health, like a forest, depends on what we allow to continue. The soil still remembers, the rivers do too, and I think the remembering has already begun.